Hello, today is Friday, August 18th, 2017. Welcome to this week's episode of Nerdy News. Let's start things off with some Ash vs. Evil Dead. I just had it. Anyways, Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 it'll explain why Ash is the chosen one as explained in the books, not the books, in the movie and the shows. The shows and the movie, I should say. So yeah, they decided that, like, you know what, it's time to finally explain why he's the chosen one, because I would like an explanation. A lot of times they don't really explain why the character is the chosen one. So it'll be good for that. And in more Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 news, the character Kelly, there was an interview with the actress that plays her, Dana DeLorenzo, I'm not sure. DeLorenzo? I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it. But the character Kelly is going to be a bit more violent. There's going to be more rage. She's going to be going sort of down her own path this season. It's going to be a little bit different. And even more Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 news. There was an interview with I forget his name. I think it was Ray, the actor who plays Pablo, and he said things like "expect the unexpected" from this season, which it's probably my pets you can hear in the background there. Expect the unexpected and trust no one, which. I mean, we can't trust Ash. I don't know. But, hey, you know what would be fun? More Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 news. Normally by now, I think it's Stars. Yeah, Stars would have given a release date or something for Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3. It's always number 3s that have troubles getting release date. Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't think of anything else right now. But yeah, so they had this like a fan parody of a song they made involving Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3. I thought it was funny. So yeah. And I swear that is the last of the Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 news. At first, all I had was Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 news. And then in like the past 2 or 3 days it picked up and like finally some more news, some Orlando news. Halloween, I mentioned Halloween, it gets darker. In some Halloween news, probably should have turned the light on. In the Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights, Bill and Ted Excellent Halloween Adventure, they're doing that, but it's going to be the final one. The final tour, so that's going to be happening. I'm a big fan of the Bill and Ted movies. They've been talking about making another one for like years now, a third one. Like, what happens if you're like 40 years old and supposed to save the world, but you didn't? That's basically how they summed it up. But yeah, they're going to be doing that. I want to go. I want to go do that, but I don't know if I can. And someone sent a message to someone. I shall use that. Not to me. Anyways, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce this. The Meyerowitz Stories trailer with Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller in it looks amusing. I'm very interested. I forget who else I saw in it that I recognize. But yeah, that movie looks good. I can't wait to see it. Then there's a trailer for this movie called Molly's Game, and I don't think I recognized anyone from that. But yeah, it looks pretty interesting. The concept seems well enough, you know. Dustin Hoffman, that's who I recognized from the Meyerowitz Stories. I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, it was Dustin Hoffman who plays, I guess, Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler's their dad. I don't know. Um, and some Deadpool 2 news. One of these stunt women had passed away, and before they resumed shooting, Ryan Reynolds decided, let's all have a moment of silence, which I think would be good for us to do. Let's have a moment of silence. And I really hope you didn't hear my mom watching TV 2 rooms over for that, because that would have been awkward. Um, Technology is so amazing how it doesn't do what I want. I don't even know how to. Jordan, I know the first name. Vought, VOGT, Jordan Vaught Roberts criticized CinemaSins in tweets, in like a bunch of tweets, took screen caps, because Jordan Vaught Roberts directed the Kong and the Skull Island. I forget exactly what it's called. Kong Skull Island? Is that? I don't know. Whatever. He directed that. He was the director, and CinemaSins, a YouTuber, takes movies and points out what's wrong with them. And this guy was like, alright, fine. I'm going to point out what's wrong with you pointing stuff out. And he said, I'm not mad. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said he wasn't mad. He just noticed some flaws within the pointing out of flaws. So, I don't think that's ever happened before, so that's interesting. In some James Bond news, Daniel Craig is going to be coming back as James Bond. Have I seen any of the Daniel Craig James Bond movies? Have I seen any James Bond movies? Someone sit down with me and watch a bunch of James Bond movies. Come on, let's watch James Bond together. In a little bit of funny news, Robert Downey Jr. sang "Play That Funky Music, White Boy" with Jamie Foxx. I thought that was pretty amusing, and so I thought that was worth pointing out for the masses. Matthew Lillard, who's the current voice of Shaggy in like all the animated things, and played Shaggy in the live-action movies about 17 years ago, posted a video on Instagram that's most likely about a new Scooby-Doo cartoon, because Don Messick, the original voice of Scooby-Doo, was in it, and he said Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo, and then there was also Kevin Conroy, who's the current voice of Batman, which makes people think, is this going to be like a Batman crossover episode? Like the cartoon years ago, decades ago actually, where they'd had like a little crossover with Batman and Scooby-Doo, which I wouldn't mind seeing that. A little newer take on it, that could be good. And then Crackdown 3 got delayed till 2018. I'm not familiar with that game series at all, so... But it got delayed, which sucks for the people who wanted to play it. See? Things from 3 getting delayed, or not getting the release date, or whatever. It's always things from 3, the third one in the series. Han Solo's, there was a picture, or like a tease from, not picture, but it was a tease from Ron Howard, the director of the Han Solo movie. There was a little tease thing from him that we might see like the Death Star, stuff like that, or things like that. So that's interesting. And American Idol is back. They just started their tour a couple days ago. So actually, as I'm recording this, they're probably doing this because I record this on the Thursday before, so it's not actually Friday when I say this, but when I say it's Friday. But yeah, they're probably like doing the auditions right now. But yeah, they started doing the tour today. So yeah, that's interesting. And Gremlins 3. Gremlins! Oh. I love me some Gremlins. So Gremlins 3 has finally been written. It's going to be darker. People will die. And as I watched a video about it today, actually, before recording this, which is how I got the news, the person who read the article and made the video misunderstood. Someone had asked the director, Dante, I forget his name. I should know the name. The guy who directed the first Gremlins, but not the second, but came back for the third one. I do not remember his name. And I feel so ashamed. But he said that someone in the interview, he was asked if people thought about the fact that Gizmo is the source of all these evil Mogwai gremlin creatures. Are they gonna like blame him? And that does come up in the movie. They're not saying that Gizmo is bad in this movie, but when they talked in the video that I watched, they said that Gizmo was bad. Of course, it was coming from someone who had never seen the movie, talking to someone who had seen the movie, so he misunderstood the article. So that's understandable. But, yeah. And there's going to be a live-action Jetsons reboot show. It's going to be like a multi-camera sitcom thing. It's going to be set like 100 years in the future. And it's going to be on ABC. And I think it's set to come out in 2018, but I'm not entirely sure. And the last bit of nerdy news, Obi-Wan Kenobi solo film, and a lot of people are thinking, well, is Ewan McGregor going to come back since he was in the prequels? We don't know about that. We don't know what's going to happen, but... And that's all that. And before we go, I want to have another moment of silence for what had happened in Charlottesville and Barcelona, the lives that were lost, because those were terrible events, and I want to honor those people with a moment of silence at the end of my video. So, to sort of brighten up the mood, because it was a little bit sad just now, I'm looking for people to, if you live in the South Bend area and you want to email me, boogieboogie16@gmail.com, if you're interested in being a part of Nerdy News. You know, helping do research, filming or editing, stuff like that, though there's barely any editing put into it right now. Well, maybe that can change if I get a team together instead of just me doing this, record the camera, cut off the end part, cut off the opening part, you know, make it look good. You know, maybe we can put a little more effort into this, make it better. Maybe get some green screen, have it look like an actual news report. You know, I think it could look good. But yeah, that's a thing I want to look into. You know, have people around me, like they live around me, and watch this. Maybe you can help. Maybe you can be a co-anchor for a little bit, or we rotate episodes. One day I host, or 1 week I host, 1 week you host, 1 week someone else hosts. And, yeah. That's it for the nerdy news. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.